Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. A Hopkins County deputy was dispatched to a suspicious vehicle in a ditch at the intersection of Farm to Market Road 69 and Farm to Market Road 71. Christopher Corley Conley, age 36, of Picton, was showing signs of recent narcotics use, according to Corporal Kobe Hume of the Hopkins County Sheriff's Office. Hume asked permission to search the 06 Ford F-150. Permission was denied. The DPS K-9 unit was called and the K-9 alerted on the vehicle. A clear plastic baggie containing a crystal-like substance believed to be methamphetamine was found, along with 2 firearms. Connolly is in Hopkins County Jail, charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 4 grams, and with unlawful carrying of a weapon. He's being held on a total of $20,000 in bonds in Hopkins County Jail. Before a packed auditorium, the Mount Vernon School Board voted 5-2 to not remove Lady Tiger basketball varsity and varsity golf coach Brad Floyd. Floyd was accused of a long list of financial and professional errors, including the violation of the Educational Code of Conduct by the superintendent of Mount Vernon Schools. The list was read by the superintendent during the opening session of the board at the request of Floyd's attorney. The superintendent noted a specific bank account opened as a nonprofit organization in the name of the basketball team. It was stated that Floyd had not kept accurate records on the account, nor had he sought the permission of the superintendent to open the account. Floyd is not the first instructor the superintendent has asked the board to terminate due to professional errors regarding financial accusations. Mount Vernon's theater arts instructor, who served the district for a number of years and saw great success as a one-act play instructor, has been terminated. More than one principal has resigned as well. The proposed termination placed before the board was placed in jeopardy, according to Floyd's attorney, based on state law regarding the termination of an employee. The district is required by law to provide a specific time frame and specific steps to allow Floyd opportunity to respond to allegations, including an independent hearing regarding the termination, which would have given Floyd the opportunity to speak to the charges. He had not been given those opportunities, nor was he allowed to speak at the school board meeting Thursday evening. An online petition supporting Floyd drew nearly 1,000 supporter comments and signatures. Cumbia Police stopped an 2017 Lexus RX 330 for doing 88 miles per hour in a 75 mile per hour zone Thursday night. It was stopped at the 110 mile marker on I-30. After a roadside investigation, a positive alert was made on the vehicle using a K-9. A probable cause search resulted in 2 weapons and $12,300 in cash found in the vehicle. An additional $1,700 in cash was found on the driver. Charles Herschel Compton III, age 21, of Denton, was arrested for money laundering and placed in Hopkins County Jail. When a DPS trooper stopped the 2016 Mazda 6 SP for speeding, the odor of marijuana was apparent. The trooper found marijuana and a substance containing cannabis oil. Gregory Mack, age 38, of Little Rock, Arkansas, was arrested and charged with possession of marijuana under 2 ounces and possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2, less than 1 gram. That's a state jail felony. He's in Hopkins County Jail.
Colleen Hoover, who is award-winning, best-selling author and native of Hopkins County, has not forgotten where she came from. She's agreed to have her 16th book, It Ends With Us, adapted to a stage play. And to direct the work, she's chosen another Hopkins County artist, Triston Pullen, whose promise in the field of dramatic arts is way beyond his 21 years. KSST and Channel 18 News went to the Bookworm Box bookstore in the local Celebration District to chat with Colleen and Triston about the very exciting Sulphur Springs premiere in 2017 of It Ends With Us this summer.
I have always wanted to be a writer, but I ended up going to school and getting a master's degree in social work. Well, a bachelor's degree. Was working on my master's when I started writing Slammed. And I started writing it for fun, didn't expect anything to come of it, self-published it to Amazon and didn't even have a publisher and agent, and 5 months later it hit the New York Times. And it's just kind of snowballed since then, and all the other books that I've released have hit the New York Times, and now I've got film deals and a play, and it's just crazy. It's been a crazy 5 years, but
well, you're wonderful. Definitely a legend. around here with that success that you've got. Now, you mentioned your book, Confess. Let's talk about Confess.
This is Confess. I wrote it, I believe, 2 years ago, and a producer picked it up, and they're filming a 6-episode series. They've actually already wrapped filming, and that releases probably sometime around April. We're not real sure on the release date yet because they're still in the editing phase. But the star is Katie LeClaire. She's the star of a show on ABC called Switched at Birth. And the guy is Ryan Cooper, and he's been in a couple of MTV shows and other movies. And so I'm excited. It's a good cast.
Well, we are too. And another book that you have written, is it very recently?
It Ends With Us.
It Ends With Us.
Yeah.
And this book that you just mentioned, It Ends With Us, is how you got involved with Triston, or did you two already know each other?
We didn't actually. Yeah, he read this book and contacted me and asked if I would be interested in adapting it with him into a play. And you want to talk about that?
Please do.
Well, now we're here. I mean, I read it and I loved it, and as most people know that come to see my shows, I love things that have high drama and high stakes and things that show life on stage. And I was emotionally connected to this story. So I kind of just went out on a whim and commented on a post on her author's page, and didn't think she'd ever see it, didn't think she'd ever read it. And then that night on Facebook, she messaged me and said, "Can you meet me tomorrow at my office?" And that was August. And again, like her career, it kind of just snowballed.
Talk about ticket sales yesterday. That was crazy.
Tell us about that.
Well, within the first minute, every single VIP ticket was sold out. We sold out of 4 shows completely.
Within a couple of hours.
Within a couple of hours. We're almost sold out of 2 more.
So you cannot attend the very first performance of the adaptation of the book,
No.
It Ends With Us, that will be staged in Sulphur Springs.
Yes,
First 3, I believe.
The first 3 nights is completely sold out.
And the last 2.
And the last
So
2.
you can get midweek performances in there.
Yes.
How wonderful. Well, Triston, tell us what you do in the rest of your life when you're not adapting books.
Well, I just came back from New York. I was working as a production intern for the musical Sweet Charity, and had a wonderful time. I got to meet some very talented people that truly helped shape my career, even the short time I got to work with them. Sutton Foster was the lead in that show, and she's a 2-time Tony Award-winning actress, and she was beautiful and amazing, and I called her my fairy godmother. And
I'm getting jealous.
There were people like Darius Barnes who became very close to me, and the stage management crew was like my family. And there was a girl named Amanda Clayton who taught me the ropes of New York City and how she made her career happen. And so I worked there, and then I have my own theater company here that I created 2 years ago. And then I am fixing to head to Santa Fe next week to have auditions for 2 shows that I'm directing for stage. And then I'm directing 3 films in Santa Fe. And then I'll come back in May.
And while you're still going to...
Yeah, while I'm a full-time student. And then I'll come back.
I've never met anyone that works this hard. I'm not kidding.
And then I'll come back, and then I'm going to dive into this wonderful world that we're creating.
He's already dove into it.
I've already dove into it.
I've heard him say he can do so much because he never sleeps.
He never sleeps.
I
I'm not
never
kidding.
sleep.
Like, we'll leave here at midnight or 1 in the morning, and then he'll be, I'll meet up here after I wake up at noon, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I had a radio interview at 8 this morning." I'm like, "When did you go home and sleep?" Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I want to ask, I've heard about the making of the book Confess into the series, and how someone has the rights to that, and they're writing the scripts, and how they're staying close to your book. And is this a first for you to branch out in this way?
It is. I've sold several film rights. I've actually written a screenplay for one, but this is the first one to actually, take that next step and be filmed and, almost be finished. So it was a whole new process, but I can't tell you how much I loved it. I think it can get kind of hard for an author to separate herself from the book that she wrote, but it was a really good experience for me. I don't look at the book and the film as the same thing. I look at it as like they complement each other. They don't copy each other. And so I was okay with the changes they had to make. And I'm really excited about it. I think they did a good job. The director was wonderful. I love the producer, and I'm excited.
Well, and so you've been there on set.
Yes, I went for a week, my husband and I, and then we went home for a few days and then went back with the kids. So I got to see everything, and I have a whole new respect for film. I never imagined all the detail that went into it.
Wow.
Yeah, there's no way I could do it. I used to want to be a director, like as my second dream, and that's no longer.
Okay.
I think I'm just going to stick to writing.
Well, I know there are pitfalls when a person takes the step, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
You just did not experience any of those this round.
I didn't. I have in the past. That's why a couple of things haven't worked out. But with this one, it was a really good fit. I think the director really understood the book and kind of what I wanted to see on film. And so all the changes she made, I absolutely agreed with. And we're actually talking about doing more in the future after this one's finished. So that's exciting.
It is exciting and interesting. Well, let's kind of apply that to It Ends With Us and the next project, which will be adapting that to a stage play. So how difficult is adaptation from a book to a stage play?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1,000.
Okay.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Not that he's difficult to work with. He's wonderful, and I've learned so much since we came together. But it's a matter of, he specializes in theater and he knows everything about the stage. I know nothing. I wrote this book. And so to me, I thought when he asked me, I'm like, oh, I can just, move all the dialogue onto a script and we'll throw it on the stage.
That's not
No, that's not it at all. I mean, we've got, 100 different locations and scene changes in the book that we're having to condense down to 7. So yeah, we're having to rewrite a lot of it. And it's been a challenge, but we're almost done with it, and we're very happy with the final product. It's just, I think I agreed to do it with a different thought process, and now I know.
Well, so your book is how many pages approximately?
I have no idea. I'll look. 372.
And that to be condensed to, 7 characters and a length of time of...
Yeah,
2 hours,
it will
10
be
hours?
condensed down to maybe 2 hours and a half max.
Probably 100-page
100-page script.
Dialogue only. You're not putting thoughts in there.
Well,
so.
it's hard because you have to just capture the essence of the show.
Right.
And what it's about, and not... With a book, you can have every thought process that a character ever had. You can't do that with the play. So it's hard to...
And you can't just transfer the dialogue over because you're also not getting the internal thoughts. So you're having to rewrite dialogue and scenes to where the internal thought process and the dialogue make sense on a stage and capture the same feel of the book, and it's a challenge.
Well, is it almost like writing it again?
Writing it again 5 times.
Well, and it's also interesting because it's like you have to engulf everything in such simplicity in a way. Like, it's not a dramatic reading of the book, it's a theatrical experience. It's going to see Chekhov or Shakespeare. It's not going to a bookstore to hear the author read her book, we're bringing the story you love that made you cry and made you hurt and made you feel things and putting it in front of you. And to capture those emotions within a script it's hard, but it's rewarding.
And speaking of that, how do you find that this is going to be rewarding to you, Triston?
Well, I love a challenge. And this
is a challenge.
This is a challenge. I think when I reached out to her, I did not know what I was asking for. But I'm glad I did it. I've had so many people support me in this process. And, who can say they're 21, they're working with a New York Times bestselling author, they are...
Adapting the romance book of the year. It just won that award. So
and I'm 21. I mean, and I know in the grand scheme of things of life that, this is just one moment in my life. But right now, this is a very big moment. And I think the implications of this are going to be great. I've learned a lot, and it's stretched me, and it showed me just how far I'm willing to go for my craft, and actually how smart I am in my craft. Like, not being arrogant. But maybe a little.
Not everyone can do it, Triston. Not everyone can do just that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a learning experience, and
it is.
I have learned a lot.
Colleen, how do you expect this to be rewarding to you?
I just think being able to see the reaction of the community and the people who want to see this, that's been extremely rewarding already, and we haven't even, performed it yet. So I just want everyone to be happy with it. I want people to come in and enjoy themselves and get the same feel they felt when they read the book, and that will be rewarding to me. I don't have huge expectations. This is why Triston and I work well together, because I'm a pessimist, he's an optimist. So he's way up here, I'm way down here, and we meet in the middle very well. So he has big dreams for this, and then I'm like, oh, let's just hope that the lights work, and so it works well.
Well, kind of on that theme, I wanted to ask you, as you have developed your skills as a writer, now you come to this point where you're making a different sort of promotion of your work. So that protection, preservation, promotion of your work is almost like a whole nother set of skills.
Right. Yeah, we'll see how those skills pay off.
Okay. Who reads your books?
Oh,
Everyone.
I don't write with an audience in mind. I don't write with a genre in mind. I just write stories that I feel like I need to tell. And this one has surprised me because it's different. I took a lot from my personal life. It's a very sensitive subject. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't read it, but it was a risk, and I'm very surprised at the feedback on it. I did not expect it to win the awards it has this year. I didn't expect readers to take to it like they have, but it's been so far my best-selling book with my publisher, the most successful in reviews, and that just means so much to me, because this book probably means the most to me than any of the books that I've written, and I'm excited. I'm really excited about it.
This is It Ends With Us?
Yeah. Oh, and your question was, who reads it? This one, I've had men, women, teens, 17 and up, hopefully. And then I had one woman who emailed me, and her church book club was reading it, and they're all older than 80, which I thought was awesome. And I love that. I love that I'm not, spread or, in this tight little group of like 30-year-olds. I like that a lot of different ages and different types of people are reading it.
Well, you're obviously in love with books and reading, and that's always been a lifelong.
Oh yeah. I've always wanted to write. I just I don't guess I had the courage to do it.
And I wanted to ask Triston, who will go see the play? Will a large variety of people, you think, go see the play? Will it be bringing in a new type of audience?
For Sulphur Springs, yes. I think this show is very innovative for Sulphur Springs, which is what I try to do here, as we've talked before. I think even today we had a meeting about it, and I'm pushing the envelope. We made the rules when we started this. There was no rules. We weren't going to follow rules. We were going to break rules. If it's been done for years and years in theater, we weren't going to do it. So it's kind of like we're creating this new form of theater in a way. And I think it's going to bring people who, we're in a generation where people will go spend $10 to go watch a movie. But if we can get those people to the theater, they can have an emotional experience. And that's my mission. So I think everyone, I know in the community, everyone from 16 and up are talking about coming to see this show. And, there was people from Puerto Rico that bought tickets the other day that are coming into Sulphur Springs.
Canada, UK, yeah, we've had a lot of people from out of the country that have bought tickets to come.
But this is not the only city where it will be staged.
Hopefully,
Hopefully,
in the fall of 2017, it will make its way down or over to Santa Fe, and then up to Chicago, and then hopefully it will go off Broadway, and then maybe Broadway, and then I'm talking to friends in London
big dreams.
Right now.
He has big dreams.
Big dreams, but big dreams come with big connections, and I feel that sometimes you have to let the work speak for itself. So I'm not promising people anything. I'm saying if you want to see this show, come see it, and then we can talk. I don't want to promote it to be something and then it not be that. So I want to be very honest about my work. And if it does go to Off-Broadway, who wouldn't want their work to go to Off-Broadway? That's kind of like the dream. But for right now, we know it's coming here, and it's 95% sure going to Santa Fe.
Will it be entitled It Ends With Us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I want to ask Colleen, kind of the journey you've taken to get to here, and I think a lot of people in Hopkins County, which both of you are from Hopkins County, we're both interested in both of your careers. We rarely get to see Colleen. You're very busy, but we hear about you. And so, were you always a patron of the arts? I think we may have talked about this a bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When I was in high school, I did theater and enjoyed it. Of course, writing was, where my passion was. Right out of high school, I went to college, got married, had 3 kids, and so I didn't pursue it like I wanted to. And it wasn't until I was 31 that I wrote my first book and all of this started. But I'm a big fan of theater. I love Broadway shows. I love the shows that Main Street puts on. I'll take the boys to go watch those sometimes. My son was actually in one of the shows when I started writing Slammed. I actually started writing that book at the theater, so it's kind of a full circle moment here. But oh yeah, absolutely, I love the arts. Big supporter.
Where did you grow up?
Saltillo.
Okay.
I was born here in Hopkins County. We moved to Saltillo when I was 4, and I've lived there ever since.
Well, we know that you are generous. There's evidence of that. What makes you so philanthropic, if I say that word correctly?
Maybe the way I was raised. I have a wonderful mother who's a wonderful father. They're both very, very, they raised me right, I would say. And so we grew up poor. We didn't have a lot. My kids, we lived in a single wide trailer when I started writing my first book. And so when I started seeing success financially, it's not even a question. Like, you give back, I've been in the shoes of many people who didn't have money to pay bills. And so the first thing we did when I was able to do it was start this charity here in Hopkins County, the Bookworm Box. And we opened in March of 2015 and have donated almost $800,000 since we opened.
I know that you do some of your work with a helper, your sister and other people.
Lots of helpers. Yeah, we have an online, the Bookworm Box is mostly online. We sell subscription boxes with signed novels in them from authors all around the world. And we sell about 2,000 of those a month. And we pack them all in one day. And so it requires about 50 people to come up here and help us with our assembly line. And we do that probably the third Sunday of every month. And we're never short on volunteers. People from all over Silver Springs come. We have people drive in from Houston, Oklahoma. My sister helps out, my mother, my aunt, my friends. It's just amazing. Like, this place it wouldn't be what it is without the people that volunteer here.
And so this downtown storefront that you have in our quaint little off the square area of Sulphur Springs.
The most beautiful little town in the world.
So it really serves your purpose as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's more of a specialty bookstore. I don't think a lot of people get it when they walk in, but every book that we have on our shelf is donated by an author and they're signed. And so it's one of a kind. There's not another bookstore like it in the world. And we have people come from all over to visit this store. And I don't think the community really understands it, but the book world understands it. We've had many people from Australia, from London, from Canada, just come and make trips specifically just to be able to visit the store. And I just think that's amazing. We get so much support. And as you can see, we have shelves full of books and it's all donated. All the profit goes to charity, and it's just a wonderful thing. And we're really, really excited about it. And it's probably the thing I'm most proud of anything. The New York Times is great, but the bookstore is my baby.
And it's also wonderful for other local authors.
Yeah, we have signings here a lot. They do really well.
So let's talk about your family. As you mentioned, you have children. Any college age yet, like Triston?
No, not yet. My oldest is 16. He's just about to start driving, so that's as old as I want him to be right now.
What are you encouraging them in?
I just want them to be happy. I don't care what they do. I don't care what they grow up to be. I just want them to be happy with their careers. They know that money means nothing. They grew up until my oldest was 10. We lived in a single wide trailer. It wasn't the prettiest thing in the world, but we were happy. Like, I wouldn't have changed anything. My husband and I, we just try to raise them to remember that and not to think that this is everything.
Do you have enough time to enjoy the fruits of your labor?
I do. You know, I don't feel like I work. Like, I know that I'm busy. I travel a lot. But it's just fun. It's a dream, you know. Like, I get to do what I would be doing if I got paid for it or not. So the fact that I get paid for it is a bonus. But you know, when I travel to LA to watch them film a book that I wrote, to me that's not work at all. That's a vacation. It's exciting, and so I don't really get stressed out a lot.
And so does Colleen have new vistas and horizons that she's catching sight of?
I'm trying to take one thing at a time. I have a book that I need to write that's due in March, and so that's going to be the first thing, and then our play, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Any closing words for us home folks here?
I just want to thank everyone for the amazing support we get. You know, we've had signings here, we've had lots of things go on that the community just comes together and has been so supportive. And everyone, you know, that all my friends that don't live here, they're like, why have you never moved? You're still in the same spot where you were born. Like, don't you want to go experience something else? And I'm like, no, we live in the best town in the world. I love Silver Springs. I love Main Street. I love everything about it. And I think we're very, very lucky.
A few ice pellets fell in the city of Silver Springs on Friday morning. A 60% chance of snow is expected Friday afternoon and into the evening. The temperature should reach a high of 25, but tonight, with north winds gusting 15 to 25 miles per hour, the low of 18 will feel like between 9 and 14 degrees. Saturday will be sunny with a high near 36, wind chill between 10 and 20 degrees. The low Saturday night around 20. Sunday, expect mostly sunny skies with a high near 43, a low around 31, and south-southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. We start the work week Monday with a high near 60 degrees. Here's Don with sports.
The Wildcats soccer team opened a Forney tournament Thursday with a 4-1 win against Garland Lakeview Centennial. It was the first win as head soccer coach for Nikki Wiggins. The Wildcats got goals from 4 different players. Angel Tavera opened the scoring, assisted by Gerardo Ariano. Tavera, on a corner kick, later set up Jonathan Alvarez, who scored the second goal. After a throw-in, DJ Abram found the net, assisted by Ariano. The Wildcats led 3-0 at the half. Chris Espinoza closed out the scoring in the second half using an assist from Tavera. Coach Wiggins said keeper Rafael Lopez made several nice saves, and he said the defense played a solid game. Later, the Wildcats won by forfeit over Carrollton Newman-Smith. The Newman-Smith coach said it's their district policy not to allow athletes to play a game if the wind chill factor is below 28 degrees. And Coach Wiggins said it was 25 degrees at game time Thursday evening. The Wildcats are now 2-0 for the season, and Wildcat soccer coach Nikki Wiggins said all Friday tournament games in Forney were canceled. He's waiting to see if any games are rescheduled for Saturday. The Lady Cats soccer team had a rough start to the season Thursday at a frigid Terrell tournament. The Lady Cats lost their opening match 2-0 to South Garland, the team that won the tournament last year. Later Thursday, the Lady Cats played to a 0-0 tie with Dallas Hillcrest. The Lady Cats are now 0-1-1 for the season. And due to the very cold weather and chance of precipitation Friday, all games at the Terrell tournament were canceled. The Lady Cats are scheduled to play Ferris at noon Saturday in the tournament. And the Wildcats powerlifting team is scheduled to open the season Saturday at Lindale. Wildcats powerlifting coach Casey Jeter, a good high school powerlifter for Coach Greg Owens at Lindale, tells us about himself, his Wildcats team, and Saturday's competition.
Casey Jeter, I'm 31 years old. It's my first year at Sulphur Springs. I'm the new head powerlifting coach here, and I'm excited to rock and roll. We've got some good kids that are young and ready to do some good things.
And you were a lifter yourself, so you kind of went through this. You're from Lindale, right?
Yes, sir, at Lindale High School. Actually, Greg Owens was my powerlifting coach in high school. I was a 4-year regional qualifier. I was a 2-time state qualifier. My senior year, I was ranked first in the state and ended up getting 4th, but that's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, that's it. And now you've got your first meet coming up. That'll be coming up Saturday. Are you gonna? Or I guess they still have it, as far as you know.
Yes, sir. We are still having our meet tomorrow, as far as we know now. We'd have to get quite a bit of snow for it to be canceled, but we're looking forward to it. Start small in Lindale at 8:30. We're taking a team of 12.
Okay.
So we've got one extra man going with us. This is our experienced group, and I say experienced lightly. We only have one returning senior, and Isaiah Neal. And Isaiah, unfortunately, had a death in the family. He won't be there Saturday.
Okay.
We will surely miss him, but we have several other good lifters that are returning. Ian Blanche is one of our big ones. He's in the 275-pound weight class. He's the strongest kid in our school right now. And so we're going to go see how he competes at the local level.
All right. Cortavius Pruitt, I believe he lifted some last year.
Yes, sir. Cortavius is very strong. Now, he's a little heavier than he was last year. He jumped up a weight class on us, but that's okay. This first meet, it's early in the year. We're going this week just to get into it. It's really just a workout for our guys, this one. Make sure we remember all the rules, how to put our suits on, how to put wraps on. Safety is number one for us, and getting stronger. So.
You have everybody in just about every class, from the light ones to the heavyweights? Or?
I've got a couple 114s that are working out, but they're not on the team yet.
Okay.
They're still earning their way on.
All right.
Right now, we've got a lot of big boys. Powerlifting is great for strengthening and building, and so we're trying to get our big boys strong. I've got 2 in the super heavyweights, Jacob Giannanis and Norris English. Those are our 2 big boys. I've got Jesus Olivo. Jesus Olivo is going to be one of our 275s. He's going to be there with Ian Blanche. We're a little stacked in the heavyweights. But I've got Landry Tyson, a sophomore. He played wideout for us, a real good kid. And he came in, he said, "Coach, I want to get stronger. I want to get some bulk on. And so I said, all right, well, powerlifting's a sport for you. Because he's a great hurdler. And so he's coming out for us, and he's come a long ways. Another one we're really excited about is D. Dugan, our defensive end, first team all-district unanimous. He's coming out to powerlift for us, and the kid is stronger than he knows. We haven't found a max for him yet. So we're really excited to see where we go with this group.
It's kind of fun to get started, isn't it? I know these guys have been lifting for a while, so now kind of something new with a meet and everything, get them excited.
Oh, yes, sir, absolutely. And they've been very committed. These guys have been coming in 4 days a week at 6:30 a.m. Several of them stay after school as well. Some until 4:30. I got to chase them out of the weight room. You got to get those guys to heal and eat.
I think you look like John Goodman.
I'll take it as a compliment. He played football at where did he play? At Georgia.
Really?
Yeah, John Goodman played football at Georgia. Most people don't know that. So he's a big, lovable guy.
I won't tell you where I heard that, but we don't want to get Matt Young in trouble or anything, but I'll just...
Oh, okay. All right, I'll be talking to him. There's one other name I do want to mention.
Okay,
that's Ignacio Guerrero.
Okay.
Ignacio Guerrero, he's pretty much our team leader. The guy's been there every day. He never misses a moment. He's helping other guys out. He's probably going to be our team captain this year.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.